Today is a Tuesday, October 31, 2023. Israeli tanks make headway in northwest Gaza. Israeli tanks were seen advancing in northwest Gaza. Hamas's fortified sect says it attacked those tanks that were advancing in northwest Gaza while also barring an Israeli force inside a structure. The Palestine Red Crescent Society says Israeli assaults close to the al-Quds emergency hospital in Gaza City are causing endless dread among dislodged regular citizens and health workers. Drumfires were accounted for across the blockaded home as PM Netanyahu dismissed requiring a ceasefire. The Indonesia Hospital in Gaza reported a third strike near the installation beforehand on Tuesday, hours after the Turkish-Palestinian Friendship Hospital said an Israeli attack caused damage and injuries. Israeli air assaults have been accounted for near Gaza's European Emergency Hospital. UN officers appeal to the Security Council for a ceasefire, as the head of UNICEF warns that further than 420 children are being killed or injured in Gaza every day. No less than 8,306 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza in Israeli assaults since October 7. Further than 1,400 people have been killed in Israel. WHO warns of health disaster in Gaza. A representative from the World Health Organization has issued a grave warning that Gaza was on the point of a public health catastrophe due to overcrowding, wide relegation, and severe damage to water and sanitation installations. Meanwhile, a representative for the UN Children's Agency at the same press conference has expressed enterprises about the eventuality of child losses caused by dehumidification, as only 5% of the usual water inventories remained accessible. Gaza has become a graveyard of children. The UNICEF says at least 940 children have been reported missing in Gaza, adding child dehumidification is a growing trouble with only 5% of normal water affairs. Gaza has come to a graveyard of children, UNICEF representative James Elder told a UN press briefing in Geneva. About 3,500 children have been killed in the war so far, Gaza's health ministry says. Elder reiterated the UN Children's Agency's call for an immediate ceasefire and philanthropic access to inventories for the enclave. Children in Gaza are dying not only from Israeli airstrikes but also because of a lack of medical care, he said. The situation in the enthralled West Bank is at a boiling point. The blowing up of the house of elderly Hamas leader Saleh al-Arauri has not helped the situation than in the enthralled West Bank. It seems like Israel wants to continue to put pressure on the Hamas leadership wherever it can. When you speak to people, they will tell you that they're on edge when night falls. They don't know whether an Israeli dog face will show up at their door. The situation is at a boiling point. We can now bring you more on what al-Qassam armies, Hamas's fortified sect, said about defying Israeli tanks in northwest Gaza. We excluded a Zionist force after it entered a structure in Beit Hanoun. We targeted a bulldozer and a vehicle that was transporting dog faces. We're engaged in violent battles in the south of Gaza City and northwest of Gaza, destroying a number of Israeli vehicles piercing the northern and southern areas of Gaza City. The rearmost developments: Israeli tanks are seen advancing in northwest Gaza. Israeli army says it shot down a drone over its Red Sea megacity of Eilat. Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi revolutionists take responsibility for launching the drone. In Iraq, 2 fortified drones targeted the Ain al-Assad airbase hosting U.S. forces and other transnational forces in western Iraq. The Israeli service says it killed another Hamas commander it indicted of negotiating the October 7 attacks. A 14-time-old Palestinian boy has failed of his injuries after being shot by Israeli forces in the village of Zawada, near Nablus on Monday. The Israel-Hamas war is discovering Syria, fueled by growing insecurity, violence, and a lack of progress towards a political result to its 12-time conflict, the UN Special Envoy for the country says. The Palestinian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Deportees has condemned the deliberate targeting of hospitals, health centers, ambulances, and medical and first aid brigades working in the Gaza Strip. Approximately 8,506 Palestinian lives have been tragically lost in Gaza due to Israeli military offensives since October 7. The al-Qassam armies says it attacked those tanks that were advancing in the Al-Taim area, while also barring an Israeli force inside a structure. It added that 2 bulldozers and 2 vehicles conveying ground forces were additionally targeted. Thanks for watching and subscribing to the channel.